No wonder they mob tied. No wonder everybody got to check in, y'all. Now I'm checking in with the police department. Police department told me, hey man, you got a problem with Mr. James Prince. Austin, we hear you got a problem with James Prince. Like a bunch of to me. I see why.
But he don't have a mob. And he not a mafia.
You know, quote unquote celebrities checking in and things like that. I feel like a lot of people when you
Make
go to
that
Houston,
white boy check in. Yeah, make the white boy motorcycle game.
Homie, nah, Houston is a player town, homie. As long as you don't check in to Jay Prince Jr. Jay Prince Jr., everything happened around him. Boy. Not the city of Houston. Jay Prince Jr. is boy he trying to have a sit down. Guess what I said? Man, I don't want to talk no more. I'm gonna sit down and talk to her. If Jay Prince want to sit down and talk to me, I'm bringing the FBI and the police. I never will. I don't know what type of town let one mother run something. That's a weak town. Don't know one mother run nothing in Dallas nor Fort Worth. And surely not.
When Charleston White sets his sight on someone, it's never just talk. It's a storm. This time, his fire is aimed straight at Houston's most powerful names, Jay Prince Sr. and Jay Prince Jr. What started as a canceled event spiraled into bold accusations about influence, politics, and control. Is Charlton exposing truths the world refuses to touch? Or is he digging a hole too deep to climb out of? Stay tuned, because in this breakdown, we'll uncover what really went down, why it matters, and how it could reshape the Houston movement forever.
I swear to God, y'all, I just got the call from the Houston's mayor's office and the gang unit police department in Houston, Texas. They are scared of rap a lot. And this is what I'm telling the Houston police department. Y'all can suck my too. Jay Prince really don't run Houston. He's been a mythical figure in the entertainment hip hop culture world, but in the streets, in the prison systems, he's not recognized and identified as the city of Houston, saying, hey, we hear there's some issues with Charleston White and James Prince. Don't you think it's a little too early to have this conflict? She said, well, listen, I'm not stopping my event. I ain't stopping my event. Miss Pap, I got a black male that's scared of James Prince. I bet if it was a white person, they wouldn't be scared of Rap A Lot Records. I bet they got a black police chief. You better keep jumping on. You better keep jumping on. Cause I one of you ESG. I'm telling Mob Tie, Rap A Lot, y'all can suck my. Do y'all hear that woman's voice? Do y'all hear the pain in that woman's voice? Now you knowing this was a goddamn kids event for over a month. But because Jay Prince, because I refused to sit down with you, y'all called my manager and I told you sitting down with.
When a man like Charleston White sets his sights on Jay Prince Sr. and Jr., you already know things are about to get ugly. But this isn't just beef on social media. This is about power, influence, and control in Houston. Why would Charleston risk it all by blasting the Princes? And more importantly, what does he know that we don't? Who is Charleston White? Charleston White is one of the most polarizing figures to emerge in the social media era. Born and raised in Texas, he lived a turbulent early life, entangled in crime before making a sharp turn towards advocacy. He had spoken openly about his time in prison and how those experiences shaped his worldview. Today, he straddles the line between motivational speaker and shock jock, delivering raw, unfiltered takes that mix life lessons with blistering commentary. For many, Charleston is the cautionary tale turned watchdog, a man who uses his past as fuel to challenge hypocrisy, corruption, and what he calls fake codes of the streets. His unapologetic style, however, often leaves people questioning whether he's building communities up or tearing them down for entertainment. Who are Jay Prince Sr. and Jr.? To understand why Charleston's words sting so deeply, you have to know who the Princes are. James Prince Sr. isn't just another record label founder. He's considered the architect of Southern rap's rise, the man behind Rap A Lot Records, which gave Houston a permanent place on the hip-hop map. His reputation isn't built only on music, it's also about his ability to command respect across industries and communities. His son, J. Prince Jr., has stepped into the spotlight in his own right, bridging generational gaps and pushing the family's influence into new territory, from nightlife and entertainment to the mob ties movement, which has become a calling card for Houston's cultural identity. Together, father and son embody a legacy of influence that stretches beyond music into politics, business, and the streets.
Tell you how weak mob ties is. There's no such thing as a mob ties. It's a fictitious name. They're not a mob. Mob ties is like the white boy from Malibu Most Wanted. J. Prince Jr. and his son, they like the Malibu from Most Wanted. They're not no real gangsters.
Their connection and collision. That's what makes the Charleston versus Prince showdown so compelling. It isn't just a clash of personalities. It's a collision of narratives. On one side, you have Charleston White, the provocateur, the reformer, the voice who thrives on exposing uncomfortable truths. On the other, you have the Princes, symbols of establishment, legacy, and deeply rooted influence in Houston. Their worlds were destined to intersect because both claim to speak for the culture, but from radically different perspectives. Charleston represents disruption, shaking the table with his unfiltered honesty, while the Princes represent continuity, standing as gatekeepers of Houston's respect and power. And when disruption meets legacy, sparks are bound to fly.
He got a whole half full of it. So I was working with an organization that works against an organization that has. I ain't had no comedy show. James Prince didn't stop nothing. The city of Houston called. That's how big I am. J. Prince used his political bribes, and everybody knows the Houston Police Department is on James Prince rap-a-lot record payroll.
Charleston White has never been one to hold back his tongue, but his latest tirade hits different. He isn't just throwing insults for clout or chasing headlines. He's aiming straight for the heart of Houston's most untouchable figures, J. Prince Sr., the respected godfather of Rap-A-Lot Records, and his son, J. Prince Jr., who carries the weight of the mob ties banner, have long been considered untouchable in their city. To call them out directly isn't just bold, it's a declaration of war. Charleston isn't just stirring gossip here, he's shaking the very foundation of Houston's hip-hop hierarchy, exposing tensions that most people wouldn't dare whisper about.
Never will.
And that's where
I don't know what type of town let one mother run something. That's a weak town. Don't know one mother run nothing in Dallas nor Fort Worth. And surely not no entertainment mother like a J. Prince kind of guy.
Yeah.
J. Prince really don't run Houston. He's been a mythical figure in the entertainment hip hop culture world, but in the streets, in the prison systems, he's not recognized and identified as a mob boss. He's a.
And that's where things get interesting, because while some people laugh Charleston off as an internet loudmouth, others see him as a man with nothing to lose. The kind of man who'll say out loud what everyone else only mutters behind closed doors. His blasts at J. Prince and family go beyond name-calling. They hint at a larger struggle over who really runs Houston, who controls the narrative, and who has the power to silence voices. The big question we're left with is this. Is Charleston White simply manufacturing drama for clicks? Or is he pulling back the curtain on a darker truth about power, politics, and fear in the city of Houston?
No wonder they mob tied. No wonder everybody got to check in, y'all. Now I'm checking in with the police department. Police department told me, hey man, you got a problem with Mr. James Prince. Austin, we hear you got a problem with James Prince. Man, we scared of him. I swear to God, y'all, I just got the call from the Houston's mayor's office and the gang unit police department in Houston, Texas. They are scared of Rap-A-Lot. And this is what I'm telling the Houston Police Department. Y'all can suck my.
White has built his entire reputation on saying the unsayable. A former gang member turned outspoken social media personality, he's carved out a niche as both activist and agitator. His style is raw, unfiltered, and often offensive, but it's also why people listen. He's quick to flip from motivational talk about youth reform to scorched earth tirades aimed at some of hip-hop's most feared names. Love him or hate him, White thrives on controversy, and controversy seems to thrive on him. On the other side of this clash stand the Princes. James J. Prince Sr. is no ordinary figure in hip-hop. He's a Houston institution. As the founder of Rap-A-Lot Records, he's not just a businessman, but a power broker whose name has long carried weight in the music industry and the streets alike. His son, J. Prince Jr., has carried forward the family legacy, cementing the Faye's mob ties into the cultural conversation. Together, they represent more than a family. They symbolize Houston's grip on respect, reputation, and influence.
There's nothing like the Italian mafias like we've been seeing in the movies. So why? Who gives a mob tie? So I'm ignoring, but he's steady saying it on stage while I'm on stage. So how mob tie? Said these niggas ain't. So I got these two dudes saying, take your mask off.
This isn't the first time Charleston's words have brushed up against the Prince's shadow, but this latest outburst feels like the most direct and dangerous. In the past, Charleston has taken aim at rappers, gangs, and even entire cities, but calling out Houston's most powerful family raises the stakes to a whole new level. The feud isn't just personal, it's a collision between Charleston's loud, fearless brand of truth-telling and the carefully maintained aura of authority that surrounds J. Prince Sr. and Jr.
Charleston White is more real than he is, this whack, Officer Whack 100, because Charleston White will tell you he a rat and he gonna call the police and he gonna do all of that. This rat 100 dude slides up on the real ones and portray to be something that he not, you know what I mean, which makes him more of a threat. So my advice to the hip-hop culture with individuals like him, don't let him know where you at when you go to LA, because we know what come with being rotten. You know what I mean? Let's delete the relationships with this wood rat. You know what I mean? Because he don't mean y'all no good.
White's most recent tirade erupted after he was allegedly cut from a youth mentoring event in Houston. According to him, the cancellation wasn't just a simple scheduling decision. It was a move made under pressure from the Princes and their reach in the city.
I hope all you goddamn low down dirty, and I'm gonna tell Jay Prince this here. I'm telling mob ties, nigga, like y'all can suck my d. Do y'all hear that woman's voice? Do y'all hear the pain in that woman's voice? Now you've been knowing this was a goddamn kids event for over a month. But because Jay Prince, because I refused to sit down with you, y'all called my manager and I told you I ain't sitting down with no. Now all of a sudden the mayor's office is getting calls. So you mean to tell me you put kids' life in jeopardy? Y'all calling the mayor's office and said, man, when we know it's a kids event and he speak, we go hurt him at a kids event. That's why I hate you, coward mob nigga. That's why I hate you, coward gangster.
In one of his fiery live streams, Charleston accused the family of pulling strings behind the scenes, claiming, they don't want me in Houston. They scared of what I'll say. They using police, politics, and power to shut me down. For a man who thrives on confrontation, this wasn't just business as usual. This was personal.
Homie, nah, Houston is a player town, homie. As long as you don't check in to J. Prince Jr. J. Prince Jr. is the everything happen around him. Boy. Not the city of Houston. J. Prince Jr. is trying to play gangster mob, homie, really discrediting his father's name and legacy.
You said LA's a place where rap.
Yeah. Any celebrity, any black celebrity.
I feel like Houston's the same way now.
Nah. That happened to Takeoff was just a fluke. But you can go to Houston and party and have fun all night, go to different sides of Houston.
I mean, bro, we heard stories of the jeweler that got.
All that setup dealing with J. Prince Jr. and mob ties.
The rant quickly escalated from accusations to open hostility. Charleston hurled insults directly at J. Prince Sr. and Jr., calling them out by name and daring them to confront him. He painted a picture of Houston as a city controlled by fear, where even law enforcement bends to the Prince's influence. At one point, he showcased G's on camera, sending a clear message that he wasn't afraid of whatever consequences might come from his words. The mix of bravado and recklessness gave his critics more ammunition, but it also made his supporters double down, praising him for saying what others wouldn't dare.
Jay Prince is
Adding-
a mogul, but he don't have a mob, and he not a mafia.
You know, quote unquote celebrities checking in and things like that. I feel like a lot of people when you go
Make
to
that white
Houston,
boy check in. Yeah, make the white boy motorcycle game.
Adding fuel to the fire, Charleston shared alleged screenshots and messages from organizers that appeared to confirm his claims. He had indeed been pulled from the event after unnamed outside influences got involved. While these details remain unverified, the suggestion alone was enough to spark debate. Was Charleston simply spinning a story for clicks, or had he exposed the kind of shadowy power play that few would ever risk calling out? Either way, the blast turned what could have been a local hiccup into a national talking point.
The city of Houston saying, hey, we hear there's some issues with Charleston White and James Prince. Don't you think it's a little too early to have this conflict? She said, well, listen, I'm not stopping my event. I ain't stopping my event. Miss Pap, all we saying is, do you think? So Miss Pap said, okay, Charleston, man, they calling me saying they getting some phone calls at the mayor's office. She said they getting some phone calls at the mayor's office. A bunch of phone calls that Charleston White is coming and him and Jay Prince is having problems. This ain't got nothing to do with Jay Prince's power and none of his influence, because he don't have that much power and influence. So Miss Pap said, listen, Charleston, it ain't nothing but these hating, calling the mayor's office. And I said, okay, Miss Pap, I'm going to hold back. She said, yeah, because I'm going to keep my event going.
What makes the situation even more explosive is the silence coming from the other side. Neither Jay Prince Sr. or Jr. has made a direct public statement addressing Charleston White's outbursts. For a family known for commanding respect with carefully measured words, the decision to stay quiet has only fueled speculation. Is the silence a power move, a way of showing Charleston that his words don't deserve acknowledgement, or is it a strategic restraint to avoid giving him more visibility? Meanwhile, Houston's reaction has been split. Some community leaders and residents have dismissed Charleston's claims as attention-seeking theatrics, pointing out his history of provocative remarks. Others, however, have admitted that there's an uncomfortable grain of truth in what he's saying, especially when it comes to how deeply the prince's influence runs the city. The Houston Police Department hasn't confirmed or denied his allegations of being pressured, but their lack of response has only added to the air.
Sound like a bunch of to me. I want to have a sit down. Guess what I said? Man, I don't want to talk to no. Sit down and talk to a. If Jay Prince want to sit down and talk to me, I'm bringing the FBI and the police.
Mystery. Within the hip-hop world, Charleston's latest rant has become a conversation starter. Some artists and commentators view him as reckless, potentially inviting harshness with his words, while others argue that he's holding a mirror up to an industry where unchecked power often goes unchallenged. On social media, fans are divided. One camp praises Charleston for his fearlessness, while the other mocks him as a man picking fights far above his weight class. In the end, the mixed reactions have done exactly what Charleston thrives on, keeping his name and his feud with the Princes firmly in the spotlight. At its core, White's clash with the Princes raises a bigger question. Is this spectacle just another internet rant, or is it pulling back the curtain on how power really works in Houston? For decades, Jay Prince Sr. has been seen as more than just a music mogul. His name carries weight in boardrooms, neighborhoods, and even with politicians. By dragging both him and his son into the spotlight, Charleston is testing the limits of how far their influence truly extends. If his accusations about canceled events and police connections hold water, then we're looking at a power structure that goes far beyond rap.
He was a. So why y'all mad? We watched him go hand out money, according to the FBI, to put on FBG Duckhead. Y'all still go ride with him. I hate to hear that song when he say that they took. Y'all still ain't gonna apologize to Miss Tuka.
They the ones who's making him famous and blowing him up like this because they can't stop saying his name.
So do King Von get all the light, this demon? My mother told me, son, there's gonna come a time when not just black people, but people are gonna look at right and say right is wrong, and look at wrong and say wrong is right. This is that time? No celebrity gonna come out and condemn King Von. Them niggas, who are riding with him. This is a documented, and he ain't nobody but us. HPD, because everybody know you got the police on the payroll. The FBI just can't infiltrate the Houston Police Department to get them. Everybody know James Prince got the Houston Police Department on their payroll. That's why when Trey and Zero was when them jumping on Trey, that's why they did it in front of the Houston Police Department, and the Houston Police Department never stopped it. Y'all noticed that in that video, right? Why would the Houston Police Department give James Prince and his son, who was open murder investigation, why would they give him the police report where they got witness address?
For White himself, the risks couldn't be higher. On one hand, his brand thrives on controversy, and every headline keeps him relevant. On the other, publicly challenging figures as established as the Princes can carry very real consequences, whether legal, financial, or physical. His choice to display W's during his tirade only amplifies those risks, painting him as both a provocateur and a potential target. Supporters see him as fearless for calling out untouchables, while critics warn he's playing a dangerous game with forces he might not fully control.
No. So when he did that, I'm steady talking. Yeah, Kobe Bryant jersey wearing, Michael Jordan titty. Then he proceeds toward the stage.
And then there's the reputational fallout. For the Princes, silence may project strength, but it also leaves room for Charleston's narrative to spread unchecked. In a culture where perception is everything, ignoring the accusations could embolden Charleston's claims, while responding might validate them. For Houston's hip-hop scene and the black community more broadly, this feud forces an uncomfortable reckoning with questions of power, loyalty, and accountability. Whether White is a truth-teller or a reckless agitator, his words have cracked open a conversation many are unwilling to start.
Okay, dang, I was gonna tell you, man, we in the championship. I was gonna try to get you to come out to the game.
Yeah. Now I ain't gonna be in till tomorrow.
Okay, hey, look, the jacket ain't make it in yet, but I got the address to send it to you.
Okay, bet.
All right.
All
It's
right.
gonna be sweet, man. But yeah, man, we'll see you tomorrow, man.
I already bet.
What do I need to do? Do I need to just text you before I get there? Or,
Yeah. Just call. I call you when I get in. I get in real early, so I hit you tomorrow morning.
Okay, bet it up.
I bet.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah. So y'all just heard it from Miss Pap yourself, man. Ain't nobody shutting anyway. Ain't no comedy show. I don't know where these niggas get no comedy show.
In the end, the feud between Charleston White and the Princes is more than just entertainment gossip. It's a story about power, respect, and who dares to challenge the established order. White has positioned himself as the loud voice of resistance, someone willing to risk his safety and reputation to say what others won't. But with every word he speaks, the stakes climb higher. Is he exposing uncomfortable truths about Houston's inner circles? Or is he simply playing with fire for clicks and clout? That's the tension that keeps people watching, and why this story refuses to die down. What happens next is the real cliffhanger. Will the Princes finally break their silence? Or will their silence itself be a message? Proof that White's words are beneath them. Will White double down, escalate further, or face consequences that force him to step back? And perhaps the biggest question of all, what does this mean for Houston's reputation as a hub of influence in hip-hop and beyond? These aren't just names trading insults. This is about who controls the narrative of a city and a culture. So now we want to hear from you. Do you think Charleston White is fearless for calling out the Princes, or reckless for poking at something much bigger than himself? Is this a fight for truth, or just another chapter in the never-ending saga of clout chasing in hip-hop? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because the debate isn't just happening on screen, it's happening right here in this community. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next wave of drama we'll be breaking down. You don't want to miss what's coming next.